Welcome to CNN. Today we're interviewing Nick Nolan, owner of Nick Nolan Corporations and Utilitarianist. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you here, Nick.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
So where did you first hear of the idea of utilitarianism?
In reading the Principles of Morals and Legislation by Jeremy Bentham, I came to realize how utilitarianism works and its great benefits.
Benefits? Who is this Jeremy Bentham guy anyway?
He was a British philosopher and legal reformer in the 18th and 19th century. When Britain was trying to decide what laws to enact, he believed that they should have a policy that would bring the greatest net benefits to society.
Okay, so could you tell me a little bit more about this policy?
It's the moral concept of pleasure versus pain. Anything that increases pleasure and decreases pain for the community should be legal, and anything that increases pain for the majority of the community should be illegal. Bentham's motto was the greatest good for the greatest number.
I see. But how can we determine if an action will be good or bad for the community?
Every action should be judged right or wrong according to how far it tends to promote or damage the happiness of the community.
But what happens if one action benefits one group but not another?
Whichever has the greatest number should be the ones listened to.
Can you give me an example of utilitarianism?
Of course. If a country was threatened with an attack and people's lives were at risk, the country would take a suspect or a prisoner of war. Although it is wrong to torture a person, it would be morally right in this case because it would save a large number of people. This is an example of utilitarianism because the government will be committing an action for the greater good of the community.
I don't think this would work because people can't commit acts that go against their principles and beliefs. In this case, many people value nonviolence, and this would be going against their beliefs. And now we're going to go to a short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Are you tired of being cheated out of money or happiness because of people's own self-interest or self-gain?
Started with 100 bricks, now sold out.
Well, worry no more. Utilitarianism is here. It's a system of ethics to make the majority happy. It's a beautiful way of life where people do actions for the greater good of the community. So please try taking a utilitarianist outlook on life. Go to utilitarianism.org to learn more. This ad was endorsed by Nick Nolan Corporation.
Welcome back, folks. I remind you that we are mid-interview with Nick Nolan, owner of Nick Nolan Corporations and advocate of utilitarianism. So why are you such a strong supporter of utilitarianism, Nick?
I feel like it's the best way to instill morals into society and the best way to run a community.
Yes, but do you realize that we can't determine the outcome of the actions we take until it happens?
That's why we try to predict what will happen when we use utilitarianism.
If your predictions are wrong, then there are negative effects on everyone in the community. For example, legalizing all drugs would increase the pleasure of community members, but in the end have negative health effects on everyone, especially our youth.
Okay, weighing the consequences of an action can sometimes be hard to do. But if people believe an action will be beneficial, then let it happen and it will be done.
Sometimes people don't know what is good for them or for the rest of the community. Oftentimes people are swayed by their own self-interest.
Of course, but in utilitarianism, the focus is on the community, not people themselves.
But it's human nature for people to be concerned with their own self-good, and I don't think that this can work on a large scale.
I know we're running out of time, but this approach works. If everyone is useful and we utilize everyone, then the community will benefit.
I'm sorry, but I strongly disagree, and that's all the time we have for today. Tune in next week when we talk about nationalism and Nick Nolan Corporations joins us again.
Well, worry no more. Utilitarianism is here. Oh, God. Name's Nick Nolan. Just want to put this in my iMovie. Vid's coming out soon, right, Mike? What up, Mike?
Yo, what up?
Okay. Is this recording or Mike? Is this recording?
Yeah.
So what do I do? How do I stop this video? Click this.